Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be doing kind of a walkthrough of the second part of the Alliance War Campaign, and this of course is providing that you did the first part of the war campaign. This it came out in 8.1, and yeah, just kind of going to go through a walkthrough of all the steps. The first quest you'll get is to talk to Jaina. You can go ahead and take the flight path to the keep if you have it, otherwise you have to kind of run through the city and then go up the stairs and go find Jaina off to the side and uh, kind of in the grave site of her father, I believe, is what this place is. So you'll have Jaina here. All right, so you just speak to her, and now there's gonna be a lot of role playing going on here. It's between her mother and her brother. It appeared I didn't even know she had a brother, frankly. And I like to pretend I know almost everything about the lore. So you take the next quest, and the next quest is just to meet her near the canals. So it's just basically northeast, mostly east of where you are, and you just head to the canals next to that point. There it is on the map. Head down the bridge. I actually only put this part in because, like this actual run and everything, because these little kids here, uh, they ask her to do some magic for him and stuff, and just kind of some funny crap they say to Jaina. So, anyways, Jaina powers the boat with her water elementals because she's a badass. Then we get to this part. I'm sure this is probably fixed by now, but this was a little bit buggy the day of launch. So I'm making this, quite a bit later. So if you're doing this after watching this video, I'm sure it's not bugged anymore. So you just turn it in, complete, and now you're just going to basically protect her from an attack. For me, it took a while for this attack to start. If it does take a while to start, don't be too worried about it. I actually went AFK for a couple minutes, came back, waited a couple more minutes, and then it started. So it's just like a little gauntlet that comes out, and you defeat the last person. They have, exclamation point next to their portrait. Bada boom, that's done. All right. So now you'll go ahead and accept the next little batch of quests here. I did find it a little bit odd that we're in the same area as we were for a different part of the quest line. I believe with Jaina's quest line is either the war campaign or Jaina's quest line. We came over here as well. So make sure you grab all the quests. That bombardier thing is kind of an example of how you freeze the thing right there. So this is pretty cool. Jaina actually freezes a path for you, so you don't. If you don't have a water walking mount, you can still get across easily. I actually logged out at that point, or did my raid or something, and came back and uh, the water. It's not frozen anymore, but you can actually still walk on it. I found out. So you use an item that is given to you by the gnome on the balloons that are frozen to complete that, and just complete the quest around there. You can pick up another one there as well. You'll have to kill some stuff. You have to recover some weapons, and you don't. I don't even know if you actually have to kill the stuff, but what you have to do is you have to fill up the bar. So you have to get up to 100%, which I honestly I think you have to kill stuff to fill up that bar. So I think if each one gives you 5%, then you have to kill 20 of them or so. I didn't see any things you could click on for the bar to fill up, but that doesn't mean it wasn't the case because there's a lot of people here when I was doing it. So then you'll just head back to the little war camp here and turn these. Should be 4 quests, it looks like, in. Get the Zeppelins. And then the Outriggers and everybody else. So next we're going to head the other direction, and we have to kill some plague people. At the time I did this, the drop rate was really low on it. You also have to loot these barrels that you'll see. Make sure you grab all those. The drop rate for the plague thing was really low at the time, so beware of that. I don't know if they fixed that or not. You have to free the griffin. You can do these without you can do them one at a time. So if the griffin's not there because someone already freed it, you can go ahead and kill the person, or you can do what I did, free the griffin, then kill the person. So I had to go all the way to the other side to finally get my plague mask to drop there. Blight specialist mask. And then just make sure you grab the barrels that you see. Those can be, the respawn on them honestly isn't bad, but you could definitely miss one here or there. All right, so this next part is kind of interesting. It's just one of those typical shoot quests, but what you should know here if you're struggling at all, especially like if you have a bad computer, maybe you can't see where the cannonball is going. It does shoot a little low, so it's it's almost as if like in a simulation type game, like the cannonball actually has weight to it and it's going down too much. It's not like a typical. It's not like the beachhead quest where you save the turtles, for example. But you go ahead and just shoot those boats, aim a little higher. That's the tip of the day for that. Get the next thing. You go through the tunnel, and then you're gonna head. You can see again they froze the water for you there, so you can don't even have to use your water walking mount or anything special. And then we'll head over here, and you can see along the wall. Once you get over here, there'll be bombs along the wall. You just go ahead and just easily click on those. You'll get 4 bombs per bomb stack, I believe. So you have to loot 10 of them. At least that's the case when I did it. Every single one gave 4. So, and then I barely had to touch this guy. He was almost dead. So I tagged that. He's just over by the water. And you can finish up grabbing your bombs. Then you just start I was a little bit confused at first when I was doing this of exactly what to do here. You just start heading back where you came from. Because I wasn't sure. It says use arcane beacon or whatever, and I don't know why I was confused, but it's just right there. You know, you can't really miss it. So it's gonna send you up here, and again, this is more of what I was talking about with reusing it. If you hadn't done it, we actually were right here and we fought a kraken here earlier in the Alliance quest line. So I just found it a little odd that we're in the same exact area defending, and this time just from the horde. So you can go ahead and use this thing. This thing is really a lot more generous. Just aim in the anywhere in the circle there, and it's a solid aim. You don't have to aim high or anything like that, and just mark all 3 ships. It does take a while to get there. It's a very slow moving shot, but all right. Here's a cutscene. Okay, so now you're all done with that part. Jaina's friends are all cheering for you, and that'll get you the first little step done here. And you can go ahead and accept the next part of the quest then as well. So you need to return to Halford Windbrain. So you have to go back to the thing. You can actually click on this griffin here. I just kind of accidentally stumbled into that. I was about to try to hearth back to Borealis. So you grab the next part. You have to go to Zoldazar and speak to Jestreth, to Zoldazar. And I think it was Kelsey that we're meeting there, Steam Spark. I do believe. Turn that in. Next, we just have one of those listen to the plan thing. So you have to actually click on them and click the little dialogue thing there. Shouldn't be too crowded like it is for me if you're watching this, because it's a couple weeks later at the earliest. All right, so grab the next part of the quest line. So this whole thing's basically testing this thing on a gorilla that makes it bigger. The first thing you're doing is you're gonna test it on a chicken. So you see these little chickens, they're lit up everywhere around here. You just go to one of them that isn't already tested and use the little remote control thing. It'll get big. Then you need to kill it. Once you kill it, you turn it in. So next we're going to head up north to meet up with the gorilla that we're teaming up with here. We'll turn that in and grab a couple more quests. You get a pretty decent amount of Azerite just for doing this as well. So it's worth it doing it just for that, frankly, just for the Azerite. So we're gonna release smaller apes from cages and kill some stuff. Gotta release 8 and kill 12. After you do that, we head up the hill to a cave. This is his grotto. Grong's grotto. Head in here, turn that in. More Azerite. So we're gonna accompany him. So we get to ride on his back, which is kind of cool. I would think this would be a cool mount to have, really. I don't even know. There might already be a gorilla mount in game. I'm not sure, but I think this would be a really cool mount to have. Not necessarily Grong, but yeah. So when you get there, the next thing you have to do is you have to test his stuff. So his one ability is like a jump. His 2 is just like a stomp around him, and 2 and 3 are very similar, frankly. But and then the 4 button just talks to him, which you'll be prompted to do. So you just run to the marker verse, wait for it to say you did it. So then you're just going to speak to him. So you just hit the 4 button, whatever you have it bound to, and then you'll just talk to him. It's pretty simple there. And then you have to kill a Ravasaurus, which basically just kill any dinosaur that's around here. Again, I doubt there'll be this many people for you, so there'll probably be quite a bit to choose from, at least compared to what I had to choose from. So you just kill any of these dinosaurs in the marked area. Just use your 2 and 3 buttons. You can jump on them with 1 or whatever. Kills everything real easy. So you go ahead and go right back to where you came from, turn that in. And then you'll get the next part, which is sending us along this beach. Again, kind of retreading area, but this wasn't a huge new area anyways. Called Pterosaurs, Oldazar, so it wasn't a huge area, so it is what it is. So you have to I think I'm trying to use the item in my bags. It was glitched, I think, for me. But you have to kill these things, and you can embiggerify them or whatever with the item after you kill them. So my thing wasn't working. Probably an add-on or something was messed up that day, the day of the patch. So you see it gets all giant. That's one thing. So what I did was I killed another one. See how that got all big? The other thing I killed, I couldn't use the item on because I couldn't click on it. Maybe if I really tried, I could have. So I'm showing you here. So for the rest of them, if I had a group of 3 or 2 even, I spread out the kills a little bit along the sand here to where I could use the item on each of the 3 in this case. At this point, I had fixed my UI issue. So then you head all the way back. You could use your flight whistle to get back, whatever. And then get some more Azerite there. Some more gold. Grab the next part of the quest. The first part of this was a lot more interesting to me than the second part, honestly, because it just was too heavily relied on this gorilla. So now we're going to use the thing on Grong, the Embigrifier it's called, and then see, how much better he is, basically. So we're basically running the same tests. So reach the marker. So then he says he wants to be even bigger. But we won't stop you, so then you make him even bigger. And you can go back and turn that in. For the next part, Umbric will open up a portal for you. You just click on the portal, go through it. And now you're basically in this thing with Grong. You're on Grong, of course. Use your 2 and 3 buttons. Jump on him with 1. I don't think there's any reason to need to speak to him, but it's pretty simple. You just destroy everything. Pretty much invincible to these things. So when you finish, they tell you to basically make a run for it. You go back to the portal, click the portal, Apparently there was some sort of issue or something in the portal. Um, and then you get the next quest. It was just to tranquilize him because he's all giant and raging. Tranquilize him. And then report back to Halfred and Borealis, which, if you don't know this already, this person right here near the tent can take you back to Borealis. You don't have to go to the ship. That lets you turn that in. And then there is another part. So you got to meet with Jaina again. Right back in Zuldasar. Again, retreading everything here, but that's fine. You know, good Azurite power. So next, you just have to speak to her. So just do the chat prompt. So then they combine forces to make a big arcane void portal you can go through. And now this part's somewhat interesting, I suppose. So you're basically just disabling traps as you go through. I didn't show all of them, but so one type of trap will just be one of the guardians will come alive, you kill it. This is another type of trap. What I'll say is I can't promise you. I don't know if you have low health what it's going to do to you, but I could have just ran right through this stuff and it wouldn't have even hurt me. So you can kind of see the pattern of it right here, and you can either wait for it and go through correctly, or you can just go run to it if your health can handle it. I got hit by it and it literally didn't. I maybe took me down 1% or two, so I wouldn't worry about it too much, especially not just one hit. So after you deactivate it, some stuff attacks you. This kind of trap's easy. It's just fire. Avoid the fire. You see, I just walked right through that fire. Looks like it did about 3% of my health for a second or two of being in it. It's not bad. Those things, the big statues there are traps. If you walk around them, they won't go off at all. If you do get close to them, it puts like a triangle out that hits everything in that triangle in front of it. You just click on those. Again, this trap's just a protector thing. So you can kill them. So then you start heading to this big old thing, and the next part's called Nevermind because this giant thing comes out. This giant gold thing. I hope that's going to be a boss somewhere. I assume it is. It's pretty cool, actually. So then you have to kill like a bigger guardian outside of the gold room. All right, so I mostly skipped most of these traps because it's just repetitive. But I wanted to show you what those big statues did right there. I just avoided the lasers again. I doubt that they did much. Then you have to kill some stuff in here while Shaw tries to get into the chest or whatever over here. So you just kill everything, handle that, handle your business. So you talk to him, and then you get a little cutscene here. So it's Indiana Jones type stuff. They do this a lot.
They've got this.
Harrison Jones did it for Oldham, if you remember. Then you try to put a different one in. Oops. So the giant gold guy is. Instead of fighting it, I mean, I would love to collect all my gold personally.
Now do we worry? No.
Buy one of those full pine familiars. And then, run away. The true champions we are. Back to the Arcane Void Portal of Doom. And the next part is just to report back to the ship, basically. So Commander remain on the ship, you go back to Borealis, and that's the last part of it. So again, I didn't get this out as fast as I would have liked to. That would have been a little bit more timely, but I did want to put it out anyways, just so people know what to do to get flying later on. But yeah, so if you have any questions or stuck on a part, I will gladly help you. Other than that, please subscribe. That helps me out a lot. If I helped you out at all, or you just like the video. So thanks everyone, and everybody have a good one.